Now we're ready. Is that what you're calling? Shereen. Look, I should have combed my hair, but it'll be okay. So it's funny. It's funny because my mind cannot stop racing over the whole conversation of basically, beyond feeling not perfect, right? It's really about our expectations and what we have put forth as an expectation and how you handle that.
But we should have expectations. With that said, no, wait a minute. But with that said, we should have expectations, but we should express them. It's not enough to have expectations and believe that somebody else should understand them, because there are expectations, there are standards, and there are criteria of how we would behave, right? And when we expect that man, that special person in our life to behave up to our expectation, it's unfair unless we've told them that this is my expectation.
It's interesting because a lot of marriages will sit here and say, I have said to you in 1962, 1990, 2001, 2005, like I've said it over and over. And you get to a space where I'm not going to tell you again. Yeah, because you know what? You should know. However, I think we make so many assumptives that they knew back in 1968, and they probably didn't.
See, there you go.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that is because when I was married, I used to journal, especially when I wasn't feeling good. Like when I was like, and I just wanted to just pull my hair out or knock his head off, I would journal. And so, and I don't know if I journaled because I need to journal, or I want to make sure that I marked down the day that I told you this before. So that I could go back when we had the same argument a year from now and say, you know what, look, I told you this is what I needed from you. Before, we have had this argument over and over again. I documented it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No, I think a lot of us have done it. You may not have journaled it, where you did the whole thoughts and what your feelings were and what happened. But I guarantee you put it on a calendar and you said, on this day, I told him thus and so, or on this day, it's calendared somewhere. I guarantee you.
You know what's funny about that? It doesn't even have to be written. Like, I don't know what color my underwear is right now. Like, I just put them on, but I don't know what color they are. But I bet you I could tell you now, even right now, the moment what I was wearing the day when I told you what I needed and what I wanted from you.
Exactly. And it's crazy because, so here's the thing. Are we creating that imagination? Are we creating that thought because we were in our anger, we were in our moment, we were so right, it was just matter of fact, that was it? Are we creating that memory? Or did it really occur? Because a lot of times I've had people ask me that question, that was it just something I thought up, or did it really occur? I'm just saying, because if you can't even remember the color of your underwear that you got on right now, are you sure it actually happened? I don't know. I'm just asking.
But I don't want to say we, I don't want to generalize like the whole world, but I have a tendency, because I've let go. I'm a big girl now, but I had the tendency.
You're what?
I'm a big girl now.
What defines a big girl now? No, I'm joking. That's a whole nother conversation.
Right?
Right?
But I have a tendency to lock in, or I had a tendency to lock in on those moments when I felt like I was speaking my truth and that it was falling on deaf ears.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I can go for that. Yeah, I do.
I see what you mean. Right? Because I need to be justified in the fact that I spoke my truth to you.
Yeah.
And you were not absorbing and listening to me. I don't even know if you were hearing me.
Right.
You know, I didn't forget listening. I don't even know if you were hearing me. But
right.
I can, my ex used to talk about it because I would have a phenomenal memory when it was about what you did wrong.
Right.
Or what I felt as though you did wrong to me.
Right.
So I could lock in on that.
Right. It's interesting because that lock in So something really just basic, you know, you have this expectation that you're going on this hot date with your husband or with your partner, or I don't care how you define it, but anyway, and then it doesn't happen. And then you start just bringing back into memory all the times of the letdown, all the times of you said it was gonna be,
Yep.
or you start bringing in, well, gosh, my girlfriend doesn't have this problem.
Yep.
You know, my mom didn't have this problem, you know, and you do this cross comparison, and it's hard not to, because when you feel let down, you feel like it happens all the time, and it probably doesn't,
Yep.
but it does in that moment. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I mean, prime example. Here's what I was supposed to be doing last night. You know, going on a date, and I was prepped for my date, and this, that, and the other. We ended up at Blaze Pizza. I'm on a diet. I don't eat pizza. And, but that's what you thought was okay. The letdown, now it's something very small and it's very minuscule, but it becomes bigger than that. Yeah.
It becomes much bigger because you were looking forward to it.
Correct.
You told me about it, so you were excited about it, right? Right? So we had to be finished with our phone call because I'm thinking in your mind you were going to prep and get ready.
I was prepping.
You were prepping. You cut me off the phone so you could go get ready.
I was going to curl my hair. I was putting on this cute little dress, the whole 9 yards, and then it was deflate.
Yeah, it was like your balloon.
And you know, and it's funny because there's very little that I have anticipated to have happen with this quarantine and this pandemic. Very little, because listen, what were you going to do? Your routine is get up, shower, praise God, you do shower, eat some breakfast, work from home, and repeat. You know, it was the routine. So when you say you're going to do something different, it's like, oh, yay, I'm so excited. I get out.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
It then became, what else has not happened?
Yes.
And what else did you, what else? And I can give you a list of 17.
Yeah. But the scary thing about that
is
that means you never let go of them.
Exactly.
Right? And that's the thing, because you are carrying that with you. And it just takes a trigger for
one
to come back. And then, although this was small, relatively speaking,
yeah,
it becomes humongous because of all the things you haven't let go of.
Correct. It's crazy.
Right.
You don't realize the weight you carry in things. And so now I'll spend this entire week of reflection on what didn't I let go of, and what am I harboring, and is it really this important? What am I valuing off of a date? Something so small, you know? However, I will say this, there are other situations where I've seen people who take this small thing about the date, never do that self-analysis and never do the reflection, and they're in divorce court 6 months from now.
Because it's that straw that broke the camel's back, right?
It's the straw that broke the camel's back.
Didn't let go.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember those days. And in all honesty, I was separated and divorced, all of that, if you combine the time, it's been like 10 years now, right? Right. Married twice before the age of 30. So I compacted all that up in there, right? So 40s and now 50, you know, I've had these years to date, to get to know me and to understand who I was in the marriage and who I am now. Yeah. Right? And one of the things is that I had to evolve past that, right? To even date, I had to evolve past letting go and not harboring. But I also know, being a single woman at 51, is that, and this is being a 50, you know, not marriage is a whole different story, but being single is that there are things that I'm not going to tolerate. And so I have the luxury And the mindset now to say very early on, because you now at 50, we ain't starting from scratch.
Right.
Things aren't going to change now, right? Like I'm not gonna wait till you're 60 maybe to figure out that this doesn't work for me. I'm gonna
Right.
figure that out right now.
I don't know. I'm at a loss. I'm at a loss because I hear like this, oh, you know, powerful woman, hear me roar. I'm strong. I'm that chick. You know, I can do all things, and I'm never going back. Right. But I challenge that sometimes we come up and it's that moment, and I'm glad you've got that moment. But do you ever evaluate what makes you backslide? Do you ever evaluate what makes you pause and reflect, and then you go back to those that behavior? Do you ever evaluate that?